Beulah, a 1950s television show on ABC, tells the story of an African-American maid for a white family. In the episode Beulah Goes Gardening, the family pushes gardening tasks onto Beulah after firing their gardener. The derogatory terminology directed at Beulah and the unrealistic expectations present her as inferior because of her race and gender. In more modern shows, black women are cast in more diverse roles, like Dr. Rainbow Johnson from Blackish, who is a successful anesthesiologist. Despite the progress, women are still portrayed as inferior and minorities are underrepresented. Beulah, like most women in the 1950s, faces Friedan's problem with no name. However, Beulah is unlike the average white housewife, and one cannot separate Beulah's race and gender. Stereotypes of women on television reflect and support the forced connection between women and domesticity. For example, Beulah is expected to be subservient to Bill. In the scene, the saging of Beulah and Bill reflect the power dynamic expected between men and women. Bill is standing and looking down on Beulah, even shaking his finger at her as if she was a child who disobeyed. He also calls Beulah woman, separating her from her identity and forcing her into the role of a woman, meaning she is supposed to be obedient and accomplish her domestic labor without his help. Also, this scene is set in the kitchen where Beulah stays as Bill walks out, reiterating the idea that Beulah belongs in the kitchen. Even in modern times, sexism prevails, and women who are equal in the workplace will still be invested in and appear willing to perform traditional gender roles. Another issue is the subtle dialogue that supported black actors being cast in subservient domestic roles. In the sequence when Beulah attempts to complete the chores, Harry and Alice return home and describe the money they lost. Harry complains that some days are like that. Harry's dialogue reveals the similarity and the inequality of their lives. They both had rough days, yet his day revolves around money and fun, whereas Beulah's is associated with domestic labor. The commentary highlights the subtle nature of the stereotypes that the white man's day revolves around fun and money and the black woman's day revolves around the home. Furthermore, the staging of the scene reinforces the societal construct of African American women as homemakers. As Harry and Alice return home, they're interrupted by a loud noise and Beulah being dragged along by the lawnmower. The sound breaks up the serene afternoon and reveals the chaos that has been occurring all day. It brings to light the hidden silent labor and the role of domestic service that is now associated with Beulah. Other shows like Blackish tend to have more variety in their episodes. For example, in the pilot, Bo Johnson foils Beulah when Bo stands up to her husband and stops him from ruining their son's birthday party, contrast to Beulah's submission. She also describes a 2-year-old that she is trying to keep alive during surgery, a reference to her highly respected profession, different from common domestic jobs assigned to black women characters on television. In many of Beulah's episodes, the staging and loaded language helps to reflect the societal norm of African American women positioned in roles of domestic labor. Like Bill's superiority and the hidden message of inequality in Harry's dialogue, the scene reflects the inferiority and connection to the home that is associated with Beulah. Modern shows like Blackish reveal diversity within the black community, showing that not all black people think the same any more than any other group on any issue. Television is a reflection of the expectations of society, but it can also be didactic. It can not only reflect society, it can try to change it. With the scenes of equality, television can shape young children into believing that they are deserving and are not inferior, but are instead equal.